everybody. So I feel kind of weird about doing that. That whole thing in the beginning is to get me to relax because I get nervous right before I do this, and I want to try to like get my nerves all together, and I just, you know, act weird. But today I'm going to talk about something that I feel is I don't know if I should joke about it. And I really wanted to do a series of Saturday shows where we talked about spooky things that happened in Detroit or in Michigan and the surrounding areas. But the thing is that the last couple weeks I have found out some stuff that is very interesting and not a lot of people know about. And it's kind of a dark place to go, and I'm hoping that you will come with me so I can tell you about it. So, without further ado, let's get spooky. Okay, so where do I begin? I don't know how to. I'm just gonna go. So, I got very, very sick last week. I talked about it in my last video. I have a disease called factor 5. Well, I have a disease called Behçet's disease, and I have um, an autoimmune disorder, or I don't even know if it's just a disorder called factor 5 Leiden. And so I ended up getting a very big blood clot in my leg, and it was a deadly blood clot. If it reached my lungs or my heart or any part of stuff up here, I would not be on this program with you anymore. And so I was very scared, and I tried to remain calm, but I'll be straight up, like, I had some of the worst panic attacks that I've ever had in my entire life. And during this time, I was forced to do bed rest because you cannot get out of bed, because if you get out of bed, you can dislodge this blood clot and it can move. So while I laid in bed, I did a lot of research about very dark stuff. I always do. That's my thing. I love doing that. I love finding out like morbid facts and things that happen, like the deaths in the area. Like, actually, there was like a slaughter about a block and a half away from my house, and I'm going to cover that. And it wasn't just like a normal slaughter, it was like a full on family. But that's for another story. But while I was like looking into all of this, I found out something really weird and really bizarre, and something that like you wouldn't really think of as being spooky, but you might think of as being a cover up, I guess. Uh, well, for the last 3 or 4 years, I don't know very much about her because I was in the army when she started, but there was a very popular meteorologist called Jessica Starr. Um, she was very like your all American girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, very beautiful, fun loving. She had 2 children. She basically talked about how she loved being a mom and how it was like the greatest thing, and she like went on this show every day and talked about what was going to happen in the Metro Detroit area and the weather. And she was known for being one of those strikingly beautiful girls that talk about the weather. Extremely popular. You can go on Facebook still to this day, and her page is still up, and you can see some of the last posts that she made and everything. Something happened, I believe, around November, right after Halloween in 2018. She had decided to do LASIK surgery. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor convinced her that she shouldn't do LASIK surgery. She should do something called SMILE. And basically, the difference is that with the LASIK surgery, they take the the cornea and they open it up and the whole flap is taken up and there's a laser and they fix it and then they put it down. And then with the smile, they make a small incision and they go deeper, and it's supposed to be quicker, like to get recovery time. It's supposed to be easier on you. But there have been some very interesting things that have happened about the smile surgery. Do not ask me the acronyms. I didn't write them down, but they both have their little acronyms. So she gets this smile surgery, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to stop her from having to use like contacts or sunglasses. She just wanted to see, like everybody wants to see, without having to put contacts in. And of course, she's a meteorologist where she's on the news all the time, so probably a pain in the butt to do that every single day. So she does that, and she's told that her recovery time will be about 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week. There's some people that say that they like get the smile procedure and they're back at work the next day. And to her, that was very important because she loved her job. And that is something that I want to talk about right now. Jessica Starr had the, I'm going to say from the outside looking in, perfect life. She had a husband that loved her. She had a little boy. She had a little girl. She had a house. Everything looked beautiful. It was like seriously the all-American family, the all-American dream. Her mother was so proud of her. She made all these posts about her. And I mean, for some of us who have had really hard lives, when you see people like that, you don't think that they could ever feel bad about anything. But everybody has issues on their own levels. So I don't want to say that she can't get depressed, but she had a really good job and she had a very big following. And the thing that was very noticeable was that she was very, very happy until this LASIK or the smile surgery. So she does the smile surgery, and it's on one of the posts on her Facebook. She's got these little glasses on, and she's like, I'm about to do the smile surgery. And I guess within 3 days, she told her husband, I don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. I just don't think something went right. And so for about 4 weeks, she stayed at home, and then she came back to Fox 2, and she decided that she was going to start work. And she made a post, and she said that she was struggling, but she was glad to be back, and she was going to, toughen it out and get through it. And the next thing you know is the next day there's a post on her Facebook saying that unfortunately she's not ready to return to work and that she has to have some more time to herself to recover, and everyone please give her your thoughts. And so something that a lot of people noticed is that she was talking about how she couldn't see unless she put these drops in her eyes. When she put the drops in her eyes, she could see for about 5 minutes, and then it started getting blurry again. So she was continually putting these drops in her eyes. And this is something that's important to recognize because I do believe that these drops had steroids in them. And for people who haven't had to take steroids on a regular basis, this will maybe not come as a surprise to you, or maybe it will. Steroids mess with you. They make you angry, they make you depressed, they make you think things that you don't normally think. And so to continually be putting the steroids in your body and possibly overdosing, and I'm just speculating right now, that is an area of concern. But we'll get back into that. So she makes this post that she needs more time and that she needs more time to recover, and everyone go ahead and give her your thoughts. So 4 weeks later, December, I believe, 13th, she hung herself. And that is 4 weeks after she made that post. I mean, this is a person where there were no signs. None. Nothing. She never said anything to anybody about suicide. She had a good marriage. There were no troubles. She had 2 small children, 3 and 4, who she has lots of videos about loving them. And I mean, you can tell she loved them. So to commit suicide like that, it's just kind of like shocking. I actually know a little bit about these surgeries. My friend Megan had this surgery. She said she loved it. It worked great for her. It was wonderful. Something that I also know is that when I was in the army was constantly pumping out soldiers to get the LASIK surgery. I mean, it was more cost effective for them to go get that surgery than it was to give them the glasses. So everyone was like, it was kind of like a thing. Like everybody got the LASIK surgery, and a lot of the soldiers thought, like, wow, cool, I'm gonna get my eyes fixed for free, and it's a perk for being in the army. But the army was like, yeah, I'm gonna fix your eyes with this, and then I'm not gonna have to pay for the other stuff. But anyway, I digress. Let's go back. So she kills herself. She ends her life. And that is when people start to pay attention. So it comes to find out that she's not the only person that's done this. There are many, many other cases of people who do the smile surgery and a couple of the LASIK surgery that they commit suicide. And a lot of them that have left letters said things like, the pain is just so horrible. I can't live the rest of my life like this. I can't see, I can't cook, I can't work, I can't do anything. It just is completely dark. My life is just going from one horrible, excruciating, painful moment to the next. And that's the thing, is that there have been multiple other cases. And if you Google it, you will find multiple other cases. And we're talking about like athletes. There's a police officer that had it that commit suicide. These are people that do not have like your typical, like, I don't know how to say, your typical like things that they're going to kill themselves, because can you really tell who's going to kill themselves? You can't. But these people did not have anything that was really on the outside, like, this is like a warning that this might happen. Like, you know, some people have drug addiction problems, they have money problems, their marriage is failing. Their marriage is failing. Things are happening, but I mean, these people, they're not. They have good insurance, and that's why they can get the surgery. And the other thing is that the doctors are telling them that they are good candidates for this surgery, but the problem is that they're not. Something that was to be noted was Jessica Starr had a very, very high prescription. She had been wearing contacts for over 20 years, and so for her to think that she was going to recover from something like this in like a day, I don't know. People may think that, like, you know, this has something to do with it. But I wanted to make a video about it. I wanted to tell you guys about it because there's not a lot of information about the fact that LASIK surgery and smile surgery is causing people to commit suicide because of the extreme, excruciating death. I do have some notes. I just want to make sure that I go over everything. There was a doctor, his name was Dr. Waxler. He approved the surgery and told the FDA that, like, you know, this was a great surgery. And within a couple of years of it going through and having it, he said that this was a horrible mistake. and that he 100% disagrees with approving the surgery, and that he would take it back, and that one of his direct quotes was, "How many people have to die in order for this to change?" So, yeah, this is the story I have for you. Something else that you might want to note is that to the point of Jessica Starr's surgery to the end of her life, which was 8 weeks, she lost 25 pounds. So that's a lot of weight to lose in 8 weeks. Trust me, from someone who constantly is trying to lose weight. And her mother noticed that and said, "Is everything okay? Why are you losing so much weight?" And she said, I something's wrong. I don't feel right." So I just want you to know that if you're thinking about getting LASIK surgery or this smile procedure, please look into this. Look into the statistics. Look at all the evidence. Think about it. Is it worth you having that kind of a risk? There is a small chance that you might be in extreme, excruciating pain for the rest of your life. If that's something that you're not worried about, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Jessica Starr's husband has started to come out and do interviews, and he's trying to bring awareness of what is going on with the surgery, because honestly, there's not very much out there. I would really like to know if anybody has heard about this. If they have, please say something. So the next thing I wanted to talk about quickly, because I kind of rambled on about this LASIK surgery thing, is that while I was looking up all this information about suicide, I came upon a video called Jessica's Tree. And Jessica's Tree was actually made in New Zealand, and it showed like this map of the world of where people are watching it, and like America's very, very low. But the thing is, this is a movie, it's a docu-series on YouTube about suicide, and it was so well done, and it was so like informative. And if you've ever struggled with depression, or you know someone who's struggled with depression, or you just want to know how to help someone who's struggled with being suicidal, this is such a good docu-series. It's about a girl named Jess, and you basically get to watch what happens in her life. She lives with her dad, and she ends up going to move away for 4 years. And when she comes back, she's different. She's violent. She's got issues. She isn't herself, and her friends notice things are wrong with her. And she reaches out to this girl named Jazz. Her name is Jazz Thornton, and she basically tells her that she is having suicidal thoughts. And Jazz is trying to tell her, like, "Hey, look, it's going to be okay. You can get through this." And, one day she gets a message. Jazz Thornton gets a message from Jess, and she's like, "Today is the day, and I'm going to go ahead and complete this project." And she was missing for like 24 hours, and they found her. And yeah, she had killed herself. And so they begin to tell the story of what happened to Jessica. Turns out that 4 years that she was away from her father, she had been molested by a man. They don't say who it was, but it's highly like it sounds like it was a family member. And it turns out that the man actually killed himself right before Jess killed himself, and it seemed like that was kind of the thing that pushed it towards there. But I would really recommend that you watch this, and tell people to watch it, because it's a beautiful film. The artwork alone is just like so stunning and so beautiful, and the process and the thoughts that went into it about what you should do with people with suicide. I just you always think that you're supposed to save the world and you're supposed to do this, and that's not how this film like faces it. They face it in a very matter of fact way, like you just need to be there for them and you need to be a constant in a storm of horribleness. And I just want to give this film some like credit and hopefully give it some exposure in the United States. I'm not a very like famous YouTuber, but hopefully I'll get a little bit better soon. Yeah, I think you guys should watch it. I'm going to leave the link below. After this, I do promise you, I'm gonna get more into hauntings and stuff like that, but my whole experience in the hospital and my medical situation, it really took me on my own personal journey, and I feel the need to like share it with you because I don't think I'm alone. I don't think that I think that a lot of people think that they are just alone in all these sad, horrible thoughts that like you go through, and you're not. You're not. There's so much out there for you, and there are so many people out there for you, and you just have to look for it. Um, so the name of the movie is Jessica's Tree, and at this time, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you the suicide hotline. I know it sounds kind of like I don't know. I'm just going to do it. The suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255. They're open 24 hours a day, and if you just want to talk to somebody or get something off your chest, you should call. Like, seriously, call. Because sometimes making you feel better is just talking about it. Just talking about it. That's like the start. I feel weird even saying if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, but yeah, if you did like it, and I would like you to leave a comment talking about the LASIK surgery, or if you've decided to watch this film and what you think about it. I have a lot of teenagers in my life that I mentor, and they watch these videos that I make, and I just want to give out a shout out to Sam, my son Ian, Jazzy, Mercedes, Chelsea. I love you guys so much, and I really think you should watch this movie. And just, know that you guys are loved and you're not alone. And I guess I'm a gigantic dork for saying that. But anyway, have an amazing night. And I hope you enjoyed Spooky Saturday, even though it was like serious Saturday. And yeah, so bye.